Hey, everybody. It's Carlos from Immortals podcast. I'm over here with Mike.
I am here, Mike on the mic.
Mike on the mic. Today we're going to talk a little bit something different about games coming out. Remember when John was yelling at me like, well, you're going to talk about a game that's not out yet? Well, I want to.
Got to anticipate it somehow.
I saw something that was cool, so I'm going to talk about it. There's a game coming out called When Nightmares Come.
When Nightmares Come?
Yeah, it's a...
You know the creator or who the publisher is?
Osprey Games. Or no, Osprey Publishing. Yeah, Osprey Publishing. Osprey Publishing does a lot of historical stuff. They started... for a while they've been venturing into games and fantasy stuff, but mostly their books are like factually historical books.
Oh, so like
they're like reference books.
They have like a nonfiction aspect to them, or is it all fiction?
It's all nonfiction.
So some of it's actually legit, like real stats.
No, that's what they're known for.
Okay.
It's like if you wanted to know what color the collars on the British soldier's uniform in 1762. They have a book on it. All right. That's what they do. They're very historically accurate books, but they venture into sometimes fantasy. I think they did Frostgrave. They did a game called Frostgrave.
I never heard of that one.
They did some and then they'll do like historically fantasy books. Like there's a werewolf book they just did. And I think it was one of our skits I used it. It was a werewolf book, but they wrote it from a historical aspect, but then just peppered in the fact there's werewolves. And, they just write stuff. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not.
So it's like a mix of nonfiction and fiction.
Yes, it's mostly nonfiction, but yeah, and they're also out of a lot of stuff they get out of Europe. So, but the game they came out with that I saw that caught my eye was called that When Nightmares Come. It's a miniature game based on fighting eldritch horrors. So it's not a classic role-playing game where you're playing like Vampire the Hunter or whatever, and it's not a miniature game like 40K's, they do in Space Hulk or just the battles. It is a tabletop battle game where you fight supernatural things. It's almost like...
Is it like combining, the likes of a 40K tabletop with an RPG together to like collaborate?
Whole lot less RPG, more miniature based,
more battles.
So like say you wanted to have an evening, the game, it says the game's running from anywhere from 30 to 90 minutes you can play it in. It's on a 2x2 board. You have two sides, or not, you have one side, up to 5 players. You can have up to 5 different characters. It's called like a Night Watch. You're the Night Watch, and you have to go out and you fight these supernatural characters. And there's some storytelling to it from what I read. Is basically there's a little bit of narrative to explain the story before the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you might like a short story, like, hey, I'm going to go fight these deep ones or these ghouls in a basement of an apartment building. And, okay, well, before that, you're going to make a couple rolls, like a narrative roll, like, hey, maybe your grandmother lived in that building. So, you can make a roll and, find out, a secret door or, an alternate entrance or stuff like that. There's a little bit of role playing before it. And then basically you just go in and it sounds like you just start doing a miniature battle.
It's like mostly just focused on the actual intertwined battles that take place.
Like
when we think about RPGs, we just skim over the battle sometimes, or we just briefly highlight it, but this is the actual battle.
Yeah, this itself. Is the like when you're playing Call of Cthulhu and you have a big fight, it's usually where there's not really a fight in Call of Cthulhu. It's more that it's rules and storytelling,
like
and
brief summarizing.
Yeah, and but this is the actual battle if you wanted to fill it out like that. But it's a generic form, so you could probably use it for anything you wanted. But it sounds like the rules are real simple. It's just going to be a simple dice roll. 4 or better succeeds, 4 or less doesn't. There's only so many dice. You get like 3 attributes, like strength or whatever the attributes might be, and you assign a dice to them. So you might want to assign strength as a D10, and a D12 will be your wisdom or whatever it is, and then that means like to get a 4, you want to 4 and up is better, so the bigger the dice, the more likely. So it's from what I understand, but I thought it was a cool concept because what really caught my eye was the art. So I'm going to send you some pictures, and I want you to put this guy's art up. The artist's name is, I'm going to butcher it by the way, is Boris Gro. I think he's Ukrainian, but I'm going to send you a picture of his art, put it up there when I'm talking about it. But this piece of art that I'm going to send you caught my eye, and I'm like, oh, what's this game? And then I started reading about it, but then I looked into his art, and his art's really dark and good and everything like that. So, and it was written by Patrick Total Rough. I'm probably gonna, and I know I should have researched him better, but
Sorry, Patrick.
yeah, sorry, Patrick. We'll put something in there.
Do we know when this game comes out?
It should be coming out in the next month or so. It says it's
Wow.
available already, so it might even be on an invoice somewhere. But I'm gonna get a copy because I like to pick things up. Remember, I did we did a video called Dracula's America a while ago.
Yes.
And it was based on miniature combat in the Wild West. It's kind of like that. Like those kind of goofy little games I like. And there's another game called Strange Eons Miniature Game, which was specifically Cthulhu battles. So you had like one side was a Cthulhu and the other side was like, the investigators. Yeah. So you would have miniature battles for that, and they had whole systems for that and everything like that. But this seems to be like a generic system that you can do anything with you want. The other game that that made me laugh is this. You'd appreciate this. It's called from Pagan Publishing. This is the ultimate goofiness of it. Was The Hills Rise Wild, and it's labeled as a frenzied fury of hillbilly horror. So
Wow.
yeah, it's if you ever see this, it's out of print obviously, but you can still pick it up. But it's basically you're like 4 factions of Cthulhu. Like the Necronomicon was lost, and so they found out it's somewhere. So it's just like basically a miniature battle of all the like the creatures or the families from Cthulhu, or H.P. Lovecraft's whatever.
Yeah, like the mythos, basically.
Yeah, thank you. Jeez, oh Pete, I think I know that word right. The mythos, and they just battle it out, but it's more comedic. It's kind of like a beer and pretzels kind of fun game. So
And the people that are playing them are, like the people that are battling them are hillbillies.
Well, it's kind of geared towards hillbilly because if you read, when you read, I think they really borrow heavily from the one story.
Shutter Mountains one, or
No,
it's not the Chain Coffin.
no. Anyway, it's based on like they have the Watley clan, the Marsh clan, which are the deep ones. The Watleys were the ones with the giant invisible brother in this thing. They got the Ghoul clan and the cult of Ezekiel, which
It's never good,
the cults are terrible.
especially ones of Ezekiel.
Yeah, but I can't believe I drew a blank on that. So I'll remember it after we turn the camera off.
You might remember it at the end, by the end of this.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, like these are just fun little goofy horror games. But this one looks like it's played for serious. So, it's like, okay, this is a serious background of like, hey, if you want to have like a supernatural battle that you can tabletop real quick within, a quick evening, a 30, 90-minute deal. Yeah, it's good. You can get your own miniatures. It says, there's no set. There's not like a set of miniatures. It's just a rule book. So you can get your own, like...
so it's like an all-in-one type of ordeal?
Yeah, it seems like that. Yeah, it seems like Osprey kind of does that stuff generic. Like, I can't ever remember them, like, having, like, how you have all these supplements and for every...
Expansions.
No, these are just kind of generic. Hey, do what you want with it almost. And, but I just like the artwork and I like the idea of it. So I'm going to see. So it's coming out when Nightmares Come. So I'm just going to give it a...
So when you're seeing this, make sure you check the links below. We might have it then, or it might be coming soon.
I've definitely pre-ordered it, and like I said, I was kind of fascinated by it. I want to see what anybody else feels. Or
let us know what you think in the comments about the anticipation, or if you've heard of it, or if you like any of their products that they've published.
Osprey's this historical. A lot of historical guys do that and stuff like that.
We have some guys come in here and play some World War II reenactment battles.
Yeah, I just want to go slam a giant Cthulhu down on it.
Deal with this.
Yeah, go ahead. How's this? Can we all just get along now? But anyway, that's coming out. If you like what we talked about and we want to see more of this, go ahead and give us something in the comments. If you share, like, subscribe, that helps us out a lot. And if you really like us, you can join.
You can join.
There's a join button there. We got anywhere from $2.99 to $30.
$30. And $30, you might be like, whoa.
Or
but
just
sneak peek at that. You get an Immortals apparel item every month.
Or you can also just give us a quick shout out, or like one of those super.
Yeah, everything helps. If you share to a friend,
drop $1.
You guys know the deal. Drop $1 for Carlos.
Drop $1 for my lack of knowledge for something I really. Dunwich Horror. That is the name of the game. The book. Man, there it is. Drop $1 to help me remember.
There we go. Dunwich Horror. So that's kind of the inspiration behind it. So
all right.
Thank you guys for watching.